folks are the kind of the driving, demanding, dominating types that just keep on pushing and pushing. So this one's near and dear to their heart. This dirty secret is, Jack, and that is, it never happens as fast as you'd like.
That's a truism, Adam. Definitely.
So these D's, like I said, especially for those folks, they're always pushing. They're always ahead. They're always worried about what's next and making things try to happen. And when you're in business, you have great ideas all times of the day or the night, but it never kind of goes as fast as you'd like. So we have a lot of clients who are like that. We have one in particular that I'm thinking about with this segment where he's grown quite a bit. Matter of fact, in the last 5 years alone, grown from a $250,000 business to approaching $7 million. It's a pretty big growth number.
Sure is.
And he's still not happy with that. He's still pushing. And what happens is you got to make sure you got things in the right order to make to be able to support that kind of growth. But trying to be patient and not every opportunity you want to be able to say yes to, because we've seen, and you see it out there too, a lot of companies that literally grow out of business, not go, but grow with an R, grow out of business. And that's what happens when it goes too fast sometimes.
Well, growing a successful business rarely happens overnight. But people who don't know will use that great term. Boy, Adam was pretty lucky with his business. He's an overnight success. Let me tell you a few things about overnight successes. There's lots of frustration in growing a business. Tons of work, a desire to quit more often than not. And again, what we do with our coaching is to help people, inspire them and kind of stay with it, especially obviously when they're making progress. Don't quit too soon. A guy like Seth Godin,
Sure.
he became an overnight success from his audience after 6 years of grinding. A couple other names you've heard about. Microsoft, 11 years from the start to the time that they got those big billions of dollars. Apple, 20 years. Google, 8 years. Facebook, 5 years. And the one that kind of surprised me in this article that I was reading, Amazon, 3 years to hit the golden goose. That's pretty quick time. But nonetheless, overnight success. People think, hey, I can start a business and I can start it and I'm going to start to make money at it and things are going to fall into place within a year. Rarely happens like that. So you got to pull your boots on and expect a long grind with lots of frustration. And if you're made for this, and we have ways to determine that, but if you're made for this, you will be what some people on the outside would call an overnight success.
Well, and I don't think it happens. It may be a cultural thing too, Jack. I was reading a book a few years back and it talked about Coach John Wooden. For those of you who don't know, John Wooden was a great basketball coach with UCLA. And his first championship, I believe it took 15 years, give or take, a couple of years, okay? 15 years. Now, this is a guy who, they won what, like 8 out of 10 championships back in the 60s and 70s.
Yeah,
so some crazy number, right? He had guys like Lou Alcindor, better known as Kareem Abdul-Jabbar, and Bill Walton, and a bunch of just great players. But it took him, the better part of over a decade to get to that success level. Now, do you think that anybody would have that kind of patience today to let a John Wooden evolve like that?
Can't see that at all.
Right,
I mean, what a relic,
right. So I think that tends to permeate our lives at all levels, including our business lives, where again, we want everything today. We had a client, been a client of ours now for about 3.5 years or 4 years, and when we first started with him, he's pretty early in his business career, and he wasn't aware of this whole idea yet that things don't happen as fast as you like, and so he came in and we're getting him to present his profit plan for the first time. The profit plan is where you forecast out your sales by month and your expenses and your profit to show that you're going to make money, right? So our client came in all excited, and he had, what was it, 18 lines of revenue, Jack? I think it was 18, right? 18. Now, he had actually brought in money on 2 or 3 of those at this point. So we said, let's negotiate here a little bit. We're going to let you have 3 or 4 of those. The other 14, we're going to put them aside for right now. Because there is absolutely no way, even though these all sound great, how you're going to be able to focus on 18 different lines of revenue and be able to make any money here. Let's focus on 1, 2, 3, or 4 of these things that are the most likely to happen and make those things start to happen. Now here we are 4 years later, and he's made couple, between those 4 we started with, he's made 3 of those work pretty good. And some of those other 18 are now coming off the shelf. They're coming out of hibernation. They haven't gone away. I mean, I think one of the things we try to tell our clients here, Jack, and the owners out there is you gotta. It's rare that you've got these once in a lifetime opportunities that come. All right, things will keep coming. If you're doing well, opportunities
can be put on the shelf and as they should be.